Welcome or welcome back. My name is Chastity and I'm an intuitive life coach and Reiki master. I will share some information about the first energy center today, which is the root chakra. Before I get into the details, my disclaimer, please do not use any of the information that I share with you today as if it were medical guidance or medical advice. Please consult with your licensed medical providers for information and knowledge on what you can do for your self-care needs. All right. Let's go. The root chakra is located at the base of the spine. It is associated with the most fundamental, the most basic of human needs. I relate it to Maslow's hierarchy of needs in psychology, right? So he had created a pyramid, and at the base of the pyramid were physiological needs. Basic needs like food, water, shelter, and clothing. When we feel like our basic needs are met, we feel stability, security, and vitality. The areas of the body that are associated with the root chakra are the prostate, the colon, the bladder, kidneys, legs, and feet. Using anecdotal evidence, here are some experiences that you may have if you have a root chakra that's not quite in balance. Number one, irregularity. Constipation is infrequent and difficult bowel movements. At the physical level, you're not able to let go. At the emotional level, you're unwilling to release what no longer serves you. Number two, and the most common one, is back pain. Most of us have heard the expression paralyzed by fear. If you have mild to moderate back pain, you may have limited mobility. And if it's severe enough, no mobility at all. On the emotional side of things, if fears are front and center, you're not making any changes. Number three, anxiety. If you're in a constant state of fight or flight, the root chakra will feel very weak and drained. There's no feeling of vitality. And number four, and I don't think most people are expecting to hear this, is an inflexible mindset. When you're keen on only seeing or perceiving things in one way in any given area of your life, that inflexibility will create instability. And I'll use the analogy of comparing humans to trees. A tree has roots, and those roots pull up and draw in nutrients and water from the soil to distribute it to the rest of the tree. But the sturdiest of trees, the ones that are most grounded, the ones that are most secure and stable, have their roots spread wide underneath the soil. They're adaptable and flexible. They don't just pull the water and the nutrients from a single source underground beneath them. They're able to really spread the roots and allow that flexibility and adaptability to the soil to work in their favor. In the same way that it is in our best interest to remain flexible and adaptable in the ways that we think and in the ways that we approach life. And so inflexibility in mindset is also something that we tend to observe in individuals that have blocked root chakras. Now, what are some ways that you can help to harmonize the root chakra? Number one, the root chakra is associated with the color red. So unless it is contraindicated by your doctor, you can incorporate more red foods into your diet. I am not referring to foods that are colored or have the red dye in it. So no, not red Skittles or red M&Ms. I am referring to whole foods that are naturally red. Number two is drink sufficient water. Yes, the entire body needs water to perform all of its functions, but especially the colon, bladder, and kidneys that are associated with the root chakra. So physically, we need the water. Emotionally, water represents feelings. You have to be willing to let them flow and release what doesn't serve you. Number three, the element associated with the root chakra is the earth. So stay connected to the earth and to nature to the best of your abilities. One way of doing that is called grounding. It's also called earthing. It's just spending time in nature. You can walk barefoot on the ground, on the grass, if it's safe, walk on the beach, do gardening work, anything that makes you feel connected to nature. As a matter of fact, if you look at the NIH website, they have research articles around the benefits of earthing. They include things like improving sleep, which, as mentioned earlier, is one of the basic needs that we have. It also helps to reduce pain and inflammation. It helps to reduce blood pressure. There are a whole slew of benefits associated with earthing. Number four, even if you're not into yoga, you can do easy standing poses to help really ground yourself to the earth. And if you can't or would prefer to do none standing poses, you can also do cross-legged sitting positions to help stabilize you and to help you feel more connected to the earth. Number five, the sense that is associated with the root chakra is the sense of smell. You can use this to your advantage because there are certain smells that allow us to feel more secure in what I call at home. Like maybe there's a specific fragrance that your mom or dad used, and reminding you of them makes you feel like you're in a safe and secure environment. Then that's a smell that's going to benefit you and helping you feel grounded. For me, I burn a lot of incense and sage and palo santo and candles going all the time in my house. It feels like a chapel, but I'm able to really create that scent that makes me feel like I'm at home. So even when I go to spiritual stores or metaphysical stores, if they burn a lot of the similar incense, I feel right at home and I feel very grounded. So you can use a sense of smell to help ground you. Number six, trust yourself. Survival requires trusting your instinct. And trusting your instinct requires that you believe before you see. It takes practice. the more you trust yourself, the more you have experiences where you realize that it's safe for you to move on instinct and based on what your intuition is telling you to do without having the evidence of what that outcome will look like. We're not living during caveman times anymore, but we still rely on our instinct, on our ability to follow our own inner guidance for survival. It's a basic need. And lastly, if you want to shift from a scarcity mentality into more of an abundance mindset, consider shifting from living on autopilot to living with awareness. When we live on autopilot, the things we do are all habitual. We respond to things out of habit. We don't really think about them, and we sure as hell don't feel or acknowledge how we feel about them either. We're just responding to things in the same way. When you shift that focus and you live with awareness, it does two things. One, it allows you to recognize how you feel. And two, it also allows you to think about why it is that you're choosing to do the things you're choosing to do. So you're able to really bring in and identify the heart and the mind, the belief systems that have you doing the things that you're doing. And when you have the mind and heart coherence, that is a very powerful equation. I get it. I say that in many of my videos, and I will continue to say it in all of my videos. You need mind and heart coherence. They work together. If you ignore one or both, it's to me the equivalent of creating a castle in the sand. It may look beautiful for a little bit, but after a while, it's going to fall apart. The mind and the heart work together. And so, if you are looking to really harmonize your root chakra, be willing to approach it from a standpoint of abundance. And that abundance can only come in if you remain aware to possibilities, opportunities, ways to learn, ways to grow, ways to expand in as many ways as possible. Professionally, personally, creatively, financially. There's so many different ways to really create abundance. I hope you've learned something from today's video. If you have any information or experiences to share, we'd love to hear about it. You can leave it in the comments down below. Until next time, may love and light always guide you. Take care.